everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, September 7, 2025 after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. I want to make sure you're in a comfortable position. No outside distractions. Relaxed into your body. Still as a statue. Focused on your breath rising and falling. Rushing has become the great addiction of our age, and society praises it. Westernized, digitalized world is completely hooked on stimulation, speed, viral videos, and becoming a billionaire overnight. Internally, it shows up as the mind looping thought after thought, never resting, always chasing the next idea and problem to solve. Both outer busyness and inner busyness have become very accepted societal habits. And one of the root causes of our suffering, most of us have grown to so accustomed to the inner and outer noise that we hardly notice how it drains us. The mind feeds on doing. The ego feels compulsive to control the outcome. It never rests enough and craves for more attention. Our Western society rewards progress, achievement, and endless productivity. Together, they weave this web of urgency that feels normal, yet keeps us disconnected from our very own depth. And beneath all of our busyness is this quiet truth. We are afraid to stop, take a breath, a deep breath, and really look at ourselves. If even for a day we are left alone with ourselves without a phone or some other stimulation or distraction, in that pure silence, we are shown our unhealed wounds, unmet longings, and restless hearts. So it's easier to keep moving than to feel what lurks beneath the surface in the stillness. It's more entertaining to run after a new goal than to stop and meet the raw intimacy of our own being. A hurried life is a shallow life. Only in deep waiting do you come to know yourself, Osho. Now the good news is that the soul does not share this collective urgency. It does not measure worth in speed or productivity. Our spiritual nature does not feed off of comparison, competition, or achievement. It abides in a state of pure timelessness. It waits patiently for us to return to our heart and relax beneath the agitated mind into the presence that has always been here. Deep down, we all know this is true. Yet why do we keep feeding into this busy bee rushing habit? Because we are addicted to the mind. Rushing feeds the superego, and this fuels more thought. And the faster we move, the more the mind spins. The busier and crazier life becomes, and the less we have to feel. All people who are hurry are simply avoiding feeling some deep worry. To sit still, even for a few minutes, can feel unbearable to some people because it threatens to reveal that we have been avoiding and what we've been avoiding for years. Rushing is a smokescreen obscuring the truth of our unawakened depths. The mind can only exist if you rush and run. The more you rush, the more mind you have. The less you rush, the less mind you have also. To stop the rushing addiction is going to take letting go of everything. It's probably going to feel like an emptiness or a loss, but in reality, it's a tremendous return to God. It is the raw homecoming to the intimacy of life itself. When you slow down, you begin to feel your emotions, connect with friends, animals, new people in your spiritual nature. You feel the warmth of your breath, the weight of your body, the healing frequency that is flowing through this divine existence. Sitting still in pure silence and boredom, you cannot avoid your soul's destination, which will no longer feel empty at all. You'll meet your wounds, surrender through them, feel how deeply alive and wonderful this life truly is. Your soul, very fertile, my friend. It is brimming with the presence of God. So what's the need to rush around it? Relax, nothing is under control. Rushing is a form of violence to the soul. Everything in the natural world grows at its own pace. Nothing good is born from forcing. When we rush, we sacrifice grace. John O'Donohue. The greatest success in life, is being able to be in love, feel fully at peace with yourself, and live each day in deep gratitude and joy. This is it. You do not need to achieve anything quickly in the outer world to discover this bliss. In fact, the more you hurry, the more you miss. You will never find the most beautiful happiness and bliss by driving 500 miles per hour through your life. A tree does not grow taller by rushing. The flower does not bloom faster by force. Life unfolds in its own rhythm when we allow it. The love we all yearn to experience is already available to us within the heart of our own self-love and innocence. We do not need to rush or push for it. We only stop, chill out long enough to notice it. The soul has an eternity of time to figure it all out. And it is never, ever in a hurry. The spiritual being you truly are cannot be anxious, for it knows life is eternal. It knows there is nothing to lose and nowhere you need to really be, but right here. And when you rest in your spiritual essence, the addiction to rushing falls away naturally, like a dream dissolving at dawn. Notice what Notice what happens the moment you slow down. Your breath returns. Your chest softens. Your heart relaxes. All the tension around it. The world sharpens in detail. And you can actually witness the way sunlight moves across the floor. You actually taste the delicious qualities in your food. You can hear the birds singing in the morning and the sound of the wind moving through the trees. This is the richness we miss when we sprint through life. Do not be in a hurry. So often hurrying causes delay. As you thirst, wait patiently. The deeper the waiting, the sooner it comes also. When we leave this human body and return to our spiritual home, the soul looks back and measures how it did. It is asked, how present were you while you were on earth? How much did you love? How deeply did you let go? These are the questions people report they were asked when they crossed over to the other side and came back to share about it. Yet, this week, take a moment to wonder why they are so unfulfilled. Take a step back. Notice the trance they are in. If you are surrounded by people who are constantly busy, rushing all the time, yet feel empty, you may tend to speed up and move quickly also. Refuse to buy into their spell. Sit back within yourself. Breathe deeply into your peaceful, grounded heart. Treat the moment like it is sacred, and it is the last moment you have left to experience this gift called life. Remember, real progress is discovering the real wealth, which is that one thing which cannot be taken away from you, your spiritual essence. This can only be found through absolute surrender to stillness. If your body stops moving, your mind won't stop for a while, but it will slow down and reveal a deeper layer of clarity when you truly are patient and ready to your addiction to your mind. This is a way to unclear and unlearn suffering. Let go of the mind. Don't touch it. Just say no to its pull into the rushing, achieving habit, and trust in stillness again. Surrender to nothingness. Be empty so you can be filled with God energy. We can only reclaim our innermost being by relinquishing this restless grip on the mind, by letting go of each one of the all-important or not-so-important thoughts we are thinking. You begin to sense that you are not this limited mind overwhelmed with problems, and that you have an eternal life ahead of you. So, here's my practical assignment for you this week. When you leave your house to be in this world, choose the longer line to wait in at the supermarket. Drive only in the slow lane on the highway. Talk half the speed you normally do. And become best friends with patience. Actually, stop and smell a rose if you see one, and look deeply into its beauty. Honor whatever form of nature you have around you, and listen to its teaching. This is the secret to slowing down. Your heart knows the way. Run in that direction, but without hurry. Rumi. If something inside of you begins to awaken and open, embrace it. And I know it's people go, oh, well, you know, old people do that. They slow down. And you ever notice that the longer we're in these bodies, really, truly, the more we slow down. You ever notice that? And the ones that haven't gotten there yet are in an all-fire hurry. You ever gotten behind somebody on the road, and they're, you know, let's say the speed limit's like 50 miles an hour, and they're going 25. Now, there's nobody around, but they're going 25. So, and you're there, and of course, you're in a hurry because you're either running late or you got to get somewhere, you think. And you get really impatient. And you keep trying to pass them, but there's other cars coming the other way. Doesn't it make sense just to kick back and relax? And you say, okay, it's no big deal. I'll just go with the flow. Instead of that, a lot of people get angry, irritated, frustrated, stressed. Yeah, they shouldn't be on the road driving. But isn't it all about not the end, but the journey? Isn't it about all this stuff we've created as gods? And yet the majority of us never enjoy it. We never see it. We never think to just kick back and view and be amazed at everything. Like standing in the woods and all you hear, and you stop because most of the time you don't hear it, but just the wind through the trees. Well, why don't we hear it? Because we're in too all-fire hurry. And it's embedded in us across the planet. You ever been in your whole day, you're all hurried and you're hurried, this and this and this and this, and then finally you sit down and you're kind of like totally wasted because you've expended so much energy being in a hurry for nothing. And see, the grip of the mind and the ego are huge. So they keep us in that animated way of rushing through life. It's just like when people leave the body and they go to the other side, which we all know is a matrix. But they go to the other side, and then they kind of take a look at things, and they say, wow, I missed a whole heck of a lot. I was so busy and such in a hurry to get through life that I missed so much of life. And this is what people come to the realization of, that the spirits, they look at the life and then they realize, why were they in such a hurry? I mean, why were they rushing here and rushing there, year after year after year after year, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 years? And this is what, it's accepted. Is it a negative? Not really a negative, but it's kind of like stop and smell the roses, literally. Grow a rose bush so you can enjoy its beauty. I've said that to people. Grow a rose bush. I've even given people rose bushes. Grow it. Take care of it. Appreciate it. Remind you. We're here to enjoy our lives. You're not going to enjoy your life on high speed. You'll miss it all. It's like the tortoise and the hare. Hare went, gets to the finish line, but never enjoyed the journey. Never saw anything. If your eyes are directly ahead of you and you're traveling on the road and you're going, to 200 miles an hour, you're more focused on the road than you are your surroundings. So you never see your surroundings. You never enjoy them or embrace them. And this is something that you're going to begin witnessing. And when you do commit and decide permanently to slow halfway down, you will appreciate and your life, the enjoyment, will be off the charts. Be absolutely phenomenal. The things that you'll experience, hear, feel, that you never did before. Where have I been all my life? Never knew that all this was here for me. And it is there for you. Why? How would we design it any other way? Really? I mean, when you really, with clarity and awareness, what the heck are we doing? Rushing through life. It's like we're afraid we're going to miss out. But, the funny thing is that we do miss out. We're afraid we're going to miss out on things. But in all truth, we do. Because we're such in a hurry to not miss out on things. Doesn't that make sense? We're in a hurry to not miss out on things. And so by hurrying, we miss out on things. Some people, they plan a vacation and they got to get all this stuff going, and and all these things. And inevitably, a lot of the plans never make it. This is why a lot of people, well, let's just say some people have discovered, why plan? Just enjoy life. Just go with it. Go with the flow. Enjoy the flow of life. See? Now, here's a question to ask yourself. Would you rush through life? If you knew you were going to live as long as you wanted to live, would you rush through life if you knew, without a question of a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, that you were going to live as long as you choose to live? Whether it be 200, 300, 400, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000, 15,000, a billion, a trillion years. How would you be? Would you still hurry, knowing that, with no doubt whatsoever? Would you still be in a hurry? I don't believe so. I believe that we would slow down because we have so much time to experience. Why would you hurry? You'd savor every moment. Would you? Or would you say, well, I've got all the time in the world, so I can rush through this and rush through that. I'm not going to ever run out of time. Or would you fear living that long? Would that ego mind kick in and start causing you to doubt and fear, worry and stress? Would it? These are all questions that, just like the three I just shared with you on what spirits say, the three questions that they ask themselves when they go over to the other side. Interesting, isn't it? That's why buy a rose bush, grow it, savor it, enjoy it, experience it. I don't care if you're living in a condo complex on top of each other, you still get a rose bush and grow it. It's amazing when we do slow down all the things that we've missed. You'd be 90 years old and all of a sudden discover, what the heck have I been doing all this time? Rushing through what? For what? The old adage, early bird catches the worm. Rush, rush, rush. Got to get there. Got to get there before anybody else gets there. And right now, everybody has a very short lifespan. I mean, it's a drop in the bucket. And just about all the time, it's not revered. It's not embraced in deep gratitude or deep eternal love. We just kind of, isn't it funny? Before we know it, you're born, you go into that body's born, and you grow, the body grows, you experience, and then you're 5 years old, 10 years old. We've all been there. 15, 20, 25, and all the emotionalities with them. And then we go 30, and then we start thinking we're old. And then we go 40, then we start thinking we're older. And then we go 50, and we're thinking, wow, I'm really getting old. And then we do 60, and we go, wow, getting old sucks. And then we do 70 and go, wow, this is really ridiculous. And then we go 80 and 90 if we make it. But what would happen? Would we slow down by half, knowing that we wouldn't grow old, that we would live as long as we choose in a healthy, abundant life? And we would be through heart-mindedness, and we would attract everything we desired. We would stay away from things that we don't want. We wouldn't use those frequencies. We would say, I don't care to have that. Okay? We would be mindful of our thoughts. We would have already mastered our ego mind. We would have learned a treasure trove of things by mastering the thought and the ego mind and all that goes with it. This is the true ascension of this species of planet Earth. All the rest of it, okay, the technical applications, the advanced technologies, all of that stuff is minuscule compared to truly and deeply discovering within that we are the God, that we are pure consciousness, that while we're in these bodies, we're an omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant being that never dies. We do an about face. We switch it. Rather than chasing, pursuing and chasing, pursuing and chasing, we flip the switch. We kick back. And we attract. We're high frequency, so we attract high frequency. It's not, see, it isn't that difficult to comprehend. We're high frequency, we attract high frequency. We're in heart-mindedness. We're at peace, bliss, joy, contentment, tranquility, silence. And we attract whatever we choose. Now, the majority of us attract what we don't want because our frequencies are too low. And it's very difficult for most to increase our frequencies because we continuously attract more of the same. And we continuously get more frustrated and more distant from who and what we are. This is what happens. We get ourselves so tied up that we get trapped, and we go through our entire lives in a hurry. Even, see, we get so accustomed to it and acclimated that we don't know that we're in a hurry. Isn't that amazing? Will we find out? We find out the majority of the time after we've left the body, and then we get a chance to take a deep breath and go, wow, look at what I did. I rushed like crazy. What for? Where did I go with that? And we create our own time schedule. We create our own pressure. Think about it. And we create an atmosphere around us of rushing. Look at through the years, on the holidays. Look at what people, how they rush and fuss and stress. And then when you come across the few that are kicked back and relaxed, it's not a big deal. Okay? Things will come together. They always do. No matter how fast you go, they come together. And with that perspective, and you know they come together, and you're good with it all, that's what enjoying life, that's part of what it's all about. It's like most of us have a real fast sports car, right? And we're going 200 miles an hour. And we don't see anything around us because we're focused straight ahead. We're interested in getting from point A to point B. The faster, the better. Okay? Now, some of us have a horse and buggy. And we aren't concerned about getting from point A to point B faster than anybody else. What we're interested in is enjoying the life. our surroundings, all the beauty, all the fauna, everything. When we get a rose bush, get one that has a scent. See, most of these rose bushes now, these roses, they have a scent. They're kind of hothouse, greenhouse raised. But get the ones with the scent. You'd be amazing just sitting and smelling a rose, how freeing, how relaxing, and how slowing that is. It gets you on a different track. See, you begin to enjoy more of what's around you. And this assists you in slowing down. It's like you'll hear people say, chill. Why don't you just chill? And some people take offense to that because of their ego mind. They're so heavily entrenched in their ego mind. But it's your decision. And a lot of people feel that they're going to be chastised, ridiculed, judged, because they just decide to be slower, move slower, eat slower, smile and laugh longer, enjoy life, not fight it. And most of us fighting it because we're all in a hurry to get somewhere and we don't even know where is. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. Can you smell the divine scent of who you are? Just take a deep breath and relax into you. Inhale that sweetness that is the essence of your innermost being. Your spirit is sweeter than the most precious flower. And a tiny waft of this inner aroma can instantly lift the biggest problems in this world. Let all your angelic fragrance out of the bottle today. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and following morning. We'll return here Monday, September 8th, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening within you nor outside of you. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.